Mike, if you look at the performance of sectors so far this week, I think the only one that's negative is utilities, which makes sense on a risk-on kind of moment. Energy, the biggest winner. Industrials, materials, healthcare, financials had a strong week. What does that tell you about what the major catalyst was?
Well, I don't know about the specific catalyst, but obviously it's more cyclical areas and arguably, I don't know, maybe more under-owned areas, places that have gotten beaten down more in December. I mean, to me, Barbara, it seems like you've had this big kind of 180 in sentiment after another 180 in sentiment. And I think the question is, how much more do people feel underinvested as this market goes higher? I mean, we seem to be perhaps testing that right now.
No, I think you're right. And if you look at the some of the studies that in January we had, high cash levels, like 4.5%. Professional investors bearish, which we saw back in the fall, and that usually precedes, a rally like we've had today. I think what we see here is, it's obviously rallying on the China news, and if we actually got something positive on China, we'd see it go higher, but I think it would back off because it really comes down to what's the Fed doing, what are earnings going to be. It always comes back to that.
And on China, Tom, I mean, we've joked on this desk how many times are we going to rally on the same news, which is there's probably going to be a China deal. But I guess as long as it's moving in that direction, I mean, do you think that'll actually be a catalyst when and if we get the actual agreement?
Well, I think the market's beginning to recognize is that China is not a structural downturn in the outlook for global growth. It's really just this sort of tension and transitory period that needs to be worked through, and that's why the market's sort of buying this news. And look, if there's a real deal, it's a huge deal, right? It's a big positive structural change in favor of U.S. corporates. So I think you actually still would want to buy it.